Kahalayim Yahweh Shem Yahshua Shem Kakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule all over the flock, and shalom and salutations to you brothers out here pushing the words of truth and sincerity. Shalom. All right, so this is the conspiracy episode. Conspiracy, all right, which means con means with, spire means breath, to breathe life into. There's been conspiracies going on, and it's proof that a lot of you camps are not privy. You're not privy to the fact that your enemy Esau Edom just not going to come out and tell you what he about to do. But first he's going to conspire against you. And these quote unquote conspiracy theories that through the spirit of Yahweh Shemiah Shah we break down and edify on, they're no longer conspiracies to us. But since that stigma is still out there concerning conspiracy theorists or theories, we got to go more into detail and break it down as babes, as if you were babies, which is okay. But this is the way in which the Lord wants us to be able to break these things down to you. And these are very old traditions, nothing new under the sun. Now, the brother right here, the great brother, GMS Awakening 144. I'm on Gabar. Priest I'm on Gabar. Zaquan I'm on Gabar from GMS NY. This video here. He go into this guy Yuval Noah Harari. Everybody in Israel should know this name if you've been paying attention. You should always also know the name of this individual here named Klaus Schwab. Where is he? Here he goes. Klaus Schwab. And this dude happens to be a Rothschild. I'm trying to get him. There he goes. He ends up being a Rothschild himself. He's from the lineage of the Rothschilds. Look, man, we're not in a time of rejecting because it's weird and it's a conspiracy. See, Bishop Nate, you got a lot to pay for, and a lot of your men is going about face. They're going to go AWOL on you because you've been teaching some wayward doctrines, man. Most notably, there ain't no microchip doctrine, right? Ain't no C-hip. And then you've also stated that a conspiracy theorist is basically generally a nut. See, we remember your words just as much as your own men of your own people. A lot of these people in IUIC, you didn't even know Bishop Nate before our elders and apostles, neither did you know him before we did. All right. Bishop Nate was one of the men who I first heard even before listening to Great Millstone. I want to let it be known. Bishop Nate was right around the time. I wouldn't say before. Actually, was the comforter. This guy called Jermaine Grant. His name. He was of the IUCJC, the comforter. He was on World Star, and then they put up a video of GMS elders Tahar, and on 34th Street. That also went up on World Star, that Euroslut, that famous Euroslut video. And these are the videos that intrigued my interest. And then I would see Nate out there too. It was a brother who I used to text or email on YouTube when they had email. And I asked him, I had some questions for him, and he noticed I was in a state of confusion. And he's the one that told me to just deal with GMS. That was a brother from North Carolina. It's the spirit, because now it's being revealed why I had so many inconsistencies. As men to this day have so many inconsistencies about what they believe to be the mark or the truth. And there's so much confusion out there because they're camp hopping. There's a difference between IUIC and GMS. There's a difference between GMS and AOC and Warriors of Israel and some of these pre-Sabbat. There's a difference in the detailed breakdowns of future prophecy, most notably Revelations 13 and 16 on down. And so when we bringing out conspiracies, brothers, we doing this filtered through the scriptures. We understand that it has to come to a world, one world government is going to come to this great conspiracy over the masses of people to have a one world currency and one world religion, which is basically under science and biotech. The proof is in the pudding, man. But yet and still you have leaders in Israel, over thousands of men, telling them things like a conspiracy theorist is generally a nut. Where else would you understand that the elites are going to come down? Revelation 12:12 tells you, but because they have a short time to rule, they shall come down with grave wrath, Satan. And so we understand conspiracies are the organized thoughts and directives of the elites with their council to brainstorm future events in which they like to see it. The Most High said in Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Okay, I believe it's Malachi or Micah that says, you know, it is in the power of his hands to do so. When he sleep upon his beds, he dream of evil, and when the morning is come, he brings it out. He implements it, because it is in the power of their hands. So no longer are we under some weird umbrella as if you have to deny conspiracies, man. Are you telling me also within their camp that y'all believe that 9/11 was not an inside job? Because y'all a bunch of officiated police officers? That's really what it come down to. A lot of y'all is the po-po, man. And if I'm wrong, you know, Salaki, if the majority of y'all is not the police, you know, Salaki, I could take that back. But I know Nate, Satan himself, you know, a lot of the men in there was police, man. And so I got this channel here, GMS Classic Kings By, where all I put up is, because I know if I put them on my main channel, they're going to break it down. They're going to cut up. But watch some of these videos. Food industry gangsters. Crisis of the month, says the Edomite. What is he talking about? Crisis of the month. Would you take it? Right? The global reset. Water bad, oil good. Showing you how this wars is fought. Clinton Epstein connection. 9/11. Pull it. Building 7. We go into it all. We're not scared. Why? Because it exposes Esau, Edom. How are the things of Esau searched out? Edom searched out? Through their whistleblowers and through the prophets of the Lord, man. We're going to continue to speak on these things. Now, what does the scripture say concerning our enemies? Let's just read it. It says, God implored to confound his enemies. That's the title of this part here. Psalms 83. I'm going to start at 1. Keep not thou silence, O power. Hold not thou peace. Be not still, and be not still, O power. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. Lifted up the head, hated the Most High and his people. The enemies making a tumult, meaning a loud noise. What is this loud noise? What is this gathering together of our enemies that hate us? What is this lifting up the head? Their plans. Their plans of a new world order, which Georgia Guidestones just miraculously got hit by lightning, destroyed, blew up, and they're gone now. We have been for years mentioning Georgia Guidestones. And guess what? They have a plan to rebuild it, and the plan to rebuild it ended up being 666 days later. In the future is when they are planning on rebuilding this thing. The Georgia Guidestones simply stated over there in Georgia that the world's population must be decreased to 500 million. And that there would be one language and so forth and so on. This is the same Nimrodian, Babylonian, Tower of Babylon situation coming back into fold. This is why Esau Edom is a carnal man. They do not learn from the past, and they aren't somebody who you're supposed to be following to a T. And our elite and our elders knew that, and we know that. Psalms 83:3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. When you go into the interlinear and you learn language, you learn what you questions should arise. Ask good questions. You can tell a lot about a man by the questions he asks. The word is iram. The question should be, what is crafty? First question, what is crafty? To be shrewd, crafty, beware, to take counsel, crafty counsel, to be prudent. Some of these definitions are great, like smart, prudent, aware, right? But then it says here, but used only in the derivative sense through the idea perhaps of smoothness, to be cunning, usually in a bad sense. There's a bad sensibleness to this word as well, crafty. Cunning in a bad sense, smooth, right? We all think smooth is a good thing, but what about smooth in a bad sense? Your enemies being smooth. You gotta understand it's talking about your enemies. Having or showing skill in achieving one's end by deceit or evasion, cunning, deceitful. So now that you know your enemies are moving deceitfully, they have taken deceitful counsel. What's counsel? What's counsel? Council, assembly, circle of familiar friends, okay, a company. But look down here, secret counsel. There's a secret counsel now. And if something's a secret, that means you're not going to know about it. It says inward. It's in-house. It's intimate. It's not openly known. Company of persons in close deliberation. They are secretly communicating in an assembly and in a council. It's a secret council. It's a secret assembly, a company of peoples. There's a session going on that you weren't invited to that will eventually regulate your entire lives, the entire lives of everyone who is not invited to the council. We're not just talking about the He-Man's Woman Haters Club from the Little Rascals, man. We're talking about world elites who fashion and form wars. And they do it smooth and deceitfully. And it's all secretly. And it's against thy people. And have consulted. To consult, man, means purpose, devise a plan, advise. Think about all the advisors. Think about this great council in this group of the top advisors in the world coming together. Some people who you voted for, some people who you love to this day. They're all admitted into this secret council to advise on the formulation of things to come, which ultimately are against the hidden ones. You see? Against the hidden ones. And we understand that the Lord's hidden ones, it says here, treasure. See, the hidden ones, treasure. The Lord's treasure. The Lord's secret. You see, the Lord's secret men are his elect, the ones that turn back to him. Right? So they have taken crafty counsel against thy people. Who's thy people? David's talking about to the Lord. He's saying the Lord, oh power, keep not silence. Who's the Lord's people? Who's God's people? Who's the Most High's people? Who's Yahweh's people? The Israelites. And they took crafty counsel against us. And all throughout the scriptures, you can see that there's a secret council ceremony session that is deceitful in nature, bad in nature. They're very smooth and cunning with it about the processes in which will affect us in our future lives. It is against the hidden ones, against the Lord's treasure, against his people. And then it goes on in Psalms later on in the chapter to tell you, verse 6, the tabernacles of Edom and Ishmael and Moab, and it continues to name them. It even has Amalek in here. You have to know who these nations are who are taking crafty counsel against the Lord's people. Psalms 10:9, he lieth and waits secretly. That's that cunningness. That's that intimacy. That's the council, what they're doing. As a lion in his den. You think a lion's just laying down in the open. Sometimes a lion is hidden, waiting to pounce. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He doth catch the poor when he draweth him into his net. So you have to understand there is a secret council going on in which they are waiting to destroy the Lord's treasure. Psalm 64:2, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of workers of iniquity. The more you study, the more you realize there's a secret counsel going on. Brothers bring it out all the time. And then you have camps that steady teach that there is no such thing as conspiracy theories, and you're a nut. This is what also separates us. The MOTB being the C-hip is let's get it right. It is technically a conspiracy theory because it's a secret council against the righteous, against the hidden ones, which is to entrap us in a snare in which the Heavenly Father has told us already. If we do, we will receive the wrath of his judgment, of his indignation, his fiery indignation. We will be destroyed if we go along with the secret counsel to take the MOTB in the flesh, implantable C-hip. So Lord willing, this video is edifying. Until next time, shalom.